It's another roller coaster this year, huh? Of emotions with the championship.
Yeah. It's been a tough year. You know, similar to last year.
On steroids?
Technically, we are in a better place than last year. The bike's good. It's working well. Of course, we missed some key areas like power in the top speed in the straight, but generally in the other areas, I'm not so.
The braking improved a lot, huh?
A lot. Not so on the limit like last year. The difference is with Alvaro on the Ducati, it's a big difference on the straight compared to Scott on the Ducati. So, okay, let's say in a similar place, if the reference is Top Rack, I'm there, I'm right there. But the reference this year is Alvaro, and he's too many points in front.
Funny enough, the top speed in Montmelon was not that different, but was the acceleration that made all the difference?
Honestly, it's the opposite. It's opposite. The top speed I had was quite high because I took a big slipstream from two bikes. I think average over the race, and if you don't consider the slipstream, then we have a big deficit of around 10 to 12 kilometers. So yeah, room for improvement, but generally I have to be satisfied with our performance. Of course, I haven't won a race since we've been in Portugal and Estoril.
Wow.
So I really want to get back to this feeling. And here in Portugal, here in Portima is a good track for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, like Hassan, you have
I
the records of
I hope so.
the track. Superbike has always been very physical. You know, I would touch this point. So by opposition to MotoGP. So, but you've been banging fairings and swapping paint, you know, for ages. There was this year the Aston episode, then there was Manicure. Do you feel some like the ghosts? Remember the episode with Chaz when all the guys started in Italy, you know, provoking and everything?
Yeah.
So that was the one. So my question is, don't you think that sometimes, I don't know who, but some people are really trying to leverage this to capture attention just with something that is not really related with the
I mean,
sports?
this is the job of many people. Also, you can criticize the journalists, but also was Alvaro talking rubbish after Manicure, Ducati team management talking rubbish. Of course,
Yeah.
in Assen with Toprak, he was, let's say, more gentlemanly. It was a difference of opinion, and this is when the fans had got involved.
Yeah.
This is normal. But for a rider like Alvaro to talk shit after Manicure and his team, it's not respectful, you know.
Was he hot-headed at the time, or you think?
I don't know, but to come out and say I'm not a champion and have this is like a little bit like spoiled brat syndrome, you know, like a kid in the toys in the pram.
But you were.
I understand, you know, I've been on the receiving end of another rider. In fact, in 2008, you could say I was competing for the World Supersport Championship, and in Manicure in T5, some rider called Robin Harms, he hit me from the back
Danish.
and crashed.
Yeah.
Ruined my chance for the championship, and my team then moved me to Superbike for here, the first race. Also, other times, other riders have hit me and I've lost position, but it's racing, you know. I didn't mean to do this on Alvaro. Maybe this defense mechanism was how he had to act in the face of the cameras, but he knows, you know, I'm not this kind of guy. I didn't think I'm going to put him down, or I took any enjoyment out of that. Also, I felt bad, you know. It was my action.
That was evident, I think.
My action to make a pass. Unfortunately, he went down. But how can I pass this guy? You know, he can't just press the button on the straight now and pass everyone and expect nobody to make a pass in the corner. Nobody to come from a long way, because otherwise it's going to be boring. So, unfortunately, this is life. You know, the journalist side, fan side. You just have to be emotionally quite tough, because if you had a weak mentality, it could be very damaging on your brain, on your attitude, on how you approach the next race. But
the way you salute him on after race 2, that was really a gentleman in a very courteous way of saying, "Hey, man, you were really superior." So
I've never had problems to, especially I feel when I get beat, my father always taught me to, you're a good rider, but you got beat, so this guy did a better job.
Learn the lesson.
Always say well done, because then, you know, I've had in the past riders, and I find it funny when I was winning some races, they found it really difficult, or they never said good job. So from my point of view, it's nice, you know, to give credit where credit's due. Was behind gritted teeth, because still he said a lot of stupid things after Manicure.
It shows how mature you are.
But
Also,
at the end of the day, this is business, and on the track, okay, he did a better job, good job, but you know, as a person, it's a different matter.
yeah, but it's behind the back now, or everything like with Toprak, when after us, and this one is also.
No, in
Chris
Top
Cole.
Rack there was never a problem. In the next race was sincerity. I spoke with him like normal, because it's on the track.
Yeah.
You know, with Alvaro, I don't have a relationship
Yeah.
off the track. You know, I don't particularly like him. He's different culture, different persona,
Yeah.
and he's not warm character. You know, in front of the people in paddock, sure, he's a big personality, but
Plays a role.
to see somebody in the paddock before I'd say hello, he's very, you know, he doesn't see people.
He's in his bubble.
Or maybe it's me, you know, maybe I never, when he arrived, I never felt a warm feeling, so there was never a connection. So for me, this happened on the circuit, it's business, but didn't change anything anyway.
Yeah. Oh, anyhow, done. Jonathan, I have to ask you really, I don't know if you're gonna like this question, but is it time for Kawasaki to give you a proper new model? What?
Fuck, I thought you were going to ask me about retirement, and so thank you.
No, why
About-
retirement? Jeez,
Because-
you've never been as good as now, so why
Yeah,
retire?
but honestly, I get this question a lot. It pisses me off. So
No,
Kawasaki,
I don't
no, they're working hard. You know, I see the team is working hard. Unfortunately, we need to make a big step in the engine side. You know, it's clear now since 2018, 19, let's say, when the V4 first arrived. Now Honda and BMW have made a reaction. We need to make this kind of reaction, and it's difficult in Superbike because we're so restricted with regulation tied to the production models.
Yes.
That unless they invest in a completely new production bike, then we can't find this benefit. Kawasaki in 21, they brought a new homologation bike, a new piston, new internal engine parts, new fairing, but unfortunately the FIM,
And the revs that you train.
they cut everything that Kawasaki did with the new bike. So for me, I find it difficult that they would now produce another new bike because this model is only 2 years old. So I think sometimes it can be frustrating, but I also have to understand, in the beginning of the season, I felt like my bike was the best bike in Aragon, in Estoril, from a chassis point of view, and many other aspects. Our bike is good, but of course, if I could ask for a Christmas present this year, it would be more power.